I'm seeing a lot of talk from my colleagues on the left too as we shift toward this reinvigorated talk about Jim Crow and the past of this country. And as someone who is a direct descendant of a slave, as someone whose great-great-grandfather was born on a plantation, I can assure you slavery is over. Jim Crow is dead. When I go anywhere, I don't see any white-only signs. I don't, I promise you. I am a black man that represents a white majority district in Texas. The great-great-grandson of a man born on a plantation stands before you today as a proud conservative Republican from Texas, as a believer and follower in Christ, and as a believer in what this country can be if we allow equality for not just Muslim Americans, not just Buddhist Americans, but also Christian Americans like yourself. God bless you, young man. You give me a lot of hope for the future of this country. Thank you for having the courage to yield back the remainder of my time.
What actually happens when a media figure, someone with a national platform, decides the best way to respond to a black congressman is to question his marriage, his kids, and his right to look in the mirror? And that's what we're breaking down today. Two men, two completely different worldviews, and one moment that exposed a lot more than either of them probably intended. Don Lemon, former CNN anchor Wesley Hunt, black Republican congressman from Texas, whose great grandfather was born on a plantation. Every clip, every comment broken down in plain English, no outrage, just facts and common sense. So, starting with Wesley Hunt, which we did, because you can't evaluate the response without understanding what was actually said first. Hunt graduated from West Point, served as an Army officer, and then ran for Congress in Texas. Not just any district, a majority white district, and he won. That matters for context because it means a significant number of white voters in Texas looked at a black Republican and said, that's our guy. Whether you agree with his politics or not, that's a real thing that happened. Now, here's what triggered this whole controversy. Hunt was on camera, as you guys seen in the clip, addressing the growing conversation on the left about Jim Crow, systemic racism, and America's racial history. And he said something that some people found inspiring and some people found infuriating. He said, as a direct descendant of slaves, as someone whose great-great-grandfather, was literally born on a plantation. And he can assure you that slavery is over. Jim Crow is dead. And he said he travels his district and doesn't see a single white-only sign anywhere. And then he said the great-great-grandson of a man born on a plantation stands before you today as a proud